Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome to my channel. This is where I share my experiences using cruelty-free skincare and makeup on mature skin. I'm really excited about today's video because this is going to be another collaboration with my good friend Wendy from the channel My Life Wendy. I hope you already watch Wendy, but if you don't, please go check her out. I'll have the link to her channel as well as her collaboration video in the description box below. Wendy is really something special. She has this great positive energy. She's very warm and welcoming on her channel. She talks a lot about clean beauty, which is something that I'm really trying to learn more about, and Wendy's one of my go-tos. And she also does a lot of lifestyle videos. She has some great recommendations on fashion and just things to make your life better. She's really fun to watch and interesting, and I just know you're going to love her as much as I do. So go check out her channel. We got the idea for this collaboration when we were chatting in the, I think it was in the comments section of either one of her videos or one of my videos, and she was talking about Jordan Samuel Hydrate Facial Serum, which is a product we both love. She talked about the different ways she likes to use it. She said, I have an idea for a collaboration. Let's talk about being our own alchemists. How we like to mix different products together to make our own custom routine. And I thought that was a great idea because mixing and matching my different products and coming up with new mixtures is one of my favorite things to do. I also like to layer products, but there's something about mixing certain products together and putting them on together. You come up with a whole new product. It's like they transform into something new, something to where they're even better than the two separate. I really love to experiment with that and play with that, and I'd like to tell you some of my favorite mixtures. Before I get into those, you're going to notice when I get started that a lot of my mixtures include Jordan Samuel skin products. Jordan has a saying, choreograph your own routine. He designed all of his products to mix together or to mix with other products in your routine, and they all do. They all mix beautifully. If you're not familiar with Jordan's products, or if you want to know more about them, I'm going to put a link in the iCards above. I did a video not long ago spotlighting Jordan Samuel Skin and all of the products in his collection. So I'm really excited about telling you about some of my favorite mixtures. Let's get started. I'm going to start with toners. I have my morning toner, which is my Thayers Witch Hazel Alcohol-Free Rose Petal and Aloe Vera. And then I have my evening toner, my Indie Lee CoQ10 toner. And both of these toners are great on their own. But when I add a little bit of this to either one of those, they're really something special. This is my Jordan Samuel Hydrate the Mist. This is a great product for adding some extra hydration into your skin, but I don't use it as an actual facial mist very often. I prefer to mix it with other products to add that little bit of extra humectant into your skin. And it mixes beautifully with both of these. It makes those toners just a little bit of extra something to where my skin is plumped up and hydrated and just ready for all the rest of my skincare routine. For my moisturizer, my Jordan Samuel Performance Cream, I love to add a little bit of facial oil. I'll add some of the Jordan Samuel Soothing Facial Oil, or I'll add some of my Youth to the People Superberry Facial Oil. I've even added a little bit of my deluxe sample here of my Drunk Elephant Marula oil, and all three of these oils mix beautifully with this moisturizer. They just glide right on. I don't really like putting facial oil directly on my face, but when I mix it with my moisturizer, it's a whole different story. It just sinks in and leaves that nice glow that you get from the facial oil without it just laying on the surface. The moisturizer just kind of helps it to sink into the skin. Now, I don't use many masks, but if I feel like I need a mask, I like to make my own, mixing some of my products that I use in my regular routine. I pretty much always start with the base of this. This is my Jordan Samuel After Show Treatment Cleanser. And the reason I like to use this as a base for a mask is it's got these beautiful oils in it. It has jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil, and then it also has some fruit extracts, so it does some exfoliation on the skin also. I like to mix it with maybe a few drops of my Jordan Samuel Retinol Treatment Oil, or a couple of pumps of my Hydrate Facial Serum. Or what I did today was I did all three. I did a little bit of the After Show Treatment Cleanser, a couple of drops of this, the Retinol Treatment Oil, and then just a couple of pumps of the Hydrate Facial Serum. And this just turns into this beautiful, beautiful, creamy product here that just, I put this on all over my face. I always like to leave my masks on for about 15-20 minutes. And then I wash it away and finish the rest of my skincare routine. I did that today. I was sick in bed all last week. You may be able to tell I sound a little sinusy still. This is one of the first days I've been up, out and about, and my skin was looking pretty rough, pretty dull and lifeless and dark circles and just kind of not good. So I did a little extra pampering with my Alchemist facial mask here, and it really helped a lot. It brought my skin back to life a bit, gave me some fresh glow to the skin, and I felt a lot better about filming this video and facing the world. Sometimes I like to actually go a little bit further and do a full-on facial. And if I'm doing that, I have a couple of ones I do. I'll do a facial for hydration, or I'll do a facial for soothing. This past October and November, I did a few facials with for hydration. It was so dry here in San Diego. The Santa Ana winds had moved in and they brought that hot, dry air, and there were a lot of days in October and November that we had humidity in the single digits. So I would pull out some of my products, mix together a facial, and one of my favorites to do would be a little bit of my Hydrate Mist, which I've already talked about. First, I'd cleanse with my After Show Treatment Cleanser. Then I'd take out my Hydrate Mist, and I would just put on a layer of the Hydrate Mist, spray it into my hand, and just pat it all over my face. Then I'd let that sink in, and do that again. Spray it in, pat it all over my face, and do that 2 or 3 times, letting it totally sink in between layers. Then I take my Hydrate Facial Serum and do the same thing. Pump or 2 in my hands, pat it into my face, let it sink in and dry, and do that 2 or 3 times. Get a nice layer of hydration, which my skin was so thirsty for with that low humidity and that hot, dry air. It just really just soaked right in, and I just loved it. It just made such a big difference in my skin. Then I'd follow that up with a mixture of my Jordan Samuel Performance Cream, the moisturizer, and a couple of drops of the Soothing Facial Oil. And that'd be my facial. Now, if I want to do a facial a little more for soothing, what I would do is I would start cleansing with this one. Or Jordan also makes, I didn't bring it out, but it's the After Show Treatment Cleanser for sensitive skin. So if I'm really needing some soothing, if my skin's gotten irritated, I'll use that one. That one has the same oils as this one, but it doesn't have the fruit extracts. I take a layer, I cleanse with that, and then I take a little bit of the Hydrate Mist and a little bit of the Soothing Facial Oil, and I just mix all that together and press it into the skin. Just a little mixture of the Hydrate Mist and the facial oil. then I can top that with another layer of the moisturizer and the facial oil. Those are my favorite kinds of facials to do when my skin's needing a little extra care. For my body, I like to use my Trader Joe's coconut body butter, which if you've seen any of my videos, you've heard me talk about this one. I love this stuff. I love it so much on its own, and I use it on its own, but I do like to mix it. It mixes so well with some of the products I love. It mixes with a little bit of the Hydrate facial serum. You can use that on your body too. It mixes with any oil I've ever put in it. I love my Jordan Samuel body oil. I've also mixed it with some Squalane. This is my Indie Lee Squalane. And I've even put in a little bit of my Trader Joe's jojoba oil. And it just mixes so well with those. I don't like putting body oil straight on my body. I don't feel like it sinks in. I don't feel like it spreads nicely, but if I mix it with my coconut body butter, it just sinks right in and glides right across the skin and just leaves this beautiful glow to the skin. I just love it. And I have one more I want to tell you about. This one is makeup. I used to never wear foundation. I hated foundation. I tried so many samples of different foundations. I just drugstore, high-end, it didn't matter. None of them would go across my skin nicely. They would all just cling to patches, sink into my pores. I have enlarged pores. I have some lines around my eyes and around my chin and around my nose, and it just caked there. It would crack. It looked horrible. I never had a good look from foundation. I had some samples. I had a sample of the Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, which is one I had tried before and didn't like it. It had clung to patches and just didn't like the way it looked at all. But I also had a sample of the Hourglass Primerizer. So I thought, I'm gonna mix those two together and just see what happens. Maybe I can make my own foundation. And that's what I did. I loved it. I love the look of these two mixed together. Just a little pump of this and just a few drops of this. I mix them together on my back of my hand, and I use my makeup sponge, which is dirty because I just did this. Use it to spread it all around and smooth it all out, and I get an effect that I've never gotten from foundation. Never been pleased with any foundation I've ever tried, but I love using these two together. And since I started doing that, I got a few other samples of some other foundations, and some I don't like as well as this, but I'll mix them with the primerizer, and I'm liking the results better than any other foundation I'd ever tried. So I really do think it's the key is mixing these two together is what's working for me. And yes, I do put a layer of primer underneath. I'll use my First Aid pore minimizing primer in the center of my face, and then I'll use my coconut skin smoothie from First Aid Beauty on the outer edges of my face, and then I'll put these two mixed together on top, and that's the trick. That's the key. That's the alchemy, the mixture of these products together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the idea of maybe mixing and matching some of your products to see if you get an even better result than either of the two separately and layered. I really do think it makes a huge difference sometimes when you mix products together, and I hope you find that the same is true in your routine. So go and choreograph your own routine and see what you come up with, and let me know in the description box below if you have some special mixtures that you like to do in your routine. Maybe you can teach me some new ones that I can try. I'd appreciate it if you do. Please go watch Wendy's video and let her know that I sent you over. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below and ring the notification bell next to that so that you know when I post new videos. Bye for now.